Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoop, back with uh, a new league I've joined. As you can see on screen, the PMC Orange League. PMC is the Pokemon Masters Cup, and the Orange League is their development league, kind of like a D League. Well, it is a D League, not their main league, but their D League, their development league, and they call it the Pokemon Masters Cup Orange League. Starting here in Season 2, it was previously called just the D League. Now it is called the Orange League. And as you can see on screen, I do have my draft fully complete. So not only is this an intro to the PMC, this is an draft analysis. As you can see on screen, all 11 of my mons have been chosen. And just want to talk about them and why I drafted them. So first off, we have Weavile. Weavile was my first pick overall. Not extremely sure what pick I had. Yeah, I don't remember which pick I had. I guess I could find that somewhere. I had the 7th pick overall. And I decided to grab Weavile as my first pick. I've been wanting to use Weavile in league format for a very, very long time. And so here's my chance. So I chose Weavile. And it's really fast. It's a really hard hitter. I wouldn't say very frail. It doesn't always die to one hit, but it's not the most powerful mon. So it can't take too many hits. So a lot of people call it a glass cannon, and that's okay as long as it's a cannon, right? Weavile's great. Choice Band, Life Orb, Muscle Band, Icicle Plate, Lumberry, Sash Leads. A lot of different things you can do with Weavile. I thought about making it my Z move user, but I decided to wait on that for a minute and check out my entire draft before I declared a Z move user. Ice type is so good in the format. Draft format, ice types are like a golden brick. I don't know. It's nice to have. And then Stab Knockoff is so good. It got me a nice Pursuit Trapper, a Fake Out user, Taunter. Like to use Taunt. It has decent coverage, although it doesn't really need much else other than it's a dual stab. It has priority Ice Shard, which is really nice. It can, like I said, Pursuit Trap and get rid of ghost types, which really helps the rest of my team, which I'll get into in a little bit. You already saw my team, so you know what removing ghost types does for my team, especially my Mega Pokemon, my Mega Evolutionary. Weavile is just so good. It hits so hard. It's so fast. It can run Adamant a lot of times, which is really, really good. It gets a Steel type coverage for Fairy types that otherwise, eats off knockoffs all the time. It gets Swords Dance, which is really good. It can set up a Swords Dance and just clean late game. Gets Low Kick. If I don't need the extra power of Icicle Crash compared to Ice Punch, I can always run Ice Punch so I don't miss. It gets Foul Play, which is really cool. And it gets Agility, so I could run like an Adamant Life Orb set and clean late game with Agility or something. Again, can run the Expert Belt and the Muscle Band, so I can like disguise like what my item may be. I am 4 times weak to fighting, so I can always run like a Choppleberry or something for like mons that get Mach Punch. Potentially, it don't always have to, or don't ever have to really. Gets really good ability and pressure and pickpocket, which I think is pretty nice. So yeah, finally getting to use Weavile, and I'm really, really happy about that. We will play at level 50, so that's another interesting thing to note. Changes prep, changes calcs and stuff like that. So hopefully Weavile can put in the work. I think it will. I think it'll do a lot of work for us. Also gets things like poison jab and power up punch. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's it for Weavile. And I wanted to keep my mon speedy because I had a draft plan around. Well, I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil for maybe my next draft potentially. But we'll get into the next mon. It's going to be Thunderous Incarnate. Now, what Thunderous Incarnate does is a lot of things. It gets Prankster and Defiant. So I have like Prankster T-Wave, Prankster Taunt, Prankster Rain Dance, Prankster Bulk Up, Prankster Agility. Gets a lot of good coverage from like, well, it's a mixed attacker, 125 base special attack, 115 base attack. Okay defenses, not too frail, and really, really good speed at 111, so outspeeds things like the Lottie Twins and Gengar and stuff like that. And like I said, Prankster T-Wave is always really good. Prankster Nasty Plot, really good to like bluff that I may be faster than something. And it gets really, really good coverage, like Brick Break, Crunch, Dark Pulse, Discharge, which is Stab, of course, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Foul Play, Grass Knot, Hammer Arm, all the hidden powers. It gets Knockoff, which is really good. Psychic, Sludge Bomb and Wave, Super Power, Thunder, Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch. It gets U-Turn and Volt Switch, so like if my opponent's got a ground type, I don't maybe not necessarily want to run Volt Switch and can just keep momentum with U-Turn and stuff like that. It gets Brutal Swing, which is pretty cool. Charge Beam, Electro Web, Fling, Fly, so I can run like Supersonic Sky Strike, which does give away that my Z move user is going to be Thunderous Incarnate, my boy Blunderous here. Gets a Prankster Heal Block, which is really nice. I think that could come in handy. Gets Iron Tail, and like I said, Rain Dance, so like Prankster Rain Dance could come into play sometime or another. Really, really like this mon. I hope it puts in the work. I haven't looked into the rules too much, but it also gets Prankster Swagger. I don't know if I can use that or not. I don't know if that's banned, but this is one of the best electric types in the game, if not the very best electric type in the game. It has, I think, 2 weaknesses, rock and electric, or rock and ice. So I think that's really nice. Can run Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, Life Orb, Muscle Band, Wise Glasses, Expert Belt, and sometimes a Z Crystal of my choice. So that's really nice. I really hope this thing can put in the work. I've used it before in league format, and it put in a ton of work. So hopefully it can do the same in this league. So now we've got 2 pretty powerful mons, very fast mons, which is really nice to have. So I thought I would grab a Stealth Rocker. I don't have a Stealth Rocker yet, so I decided to grab Nidoqueen, my girl Duchess, coming back. I think this is like it's the 3rd straight league that I've drafted it in. I drafted it in this is the 4th. I drafted it in the Major League Pokemon Season 3. I drafted it in the International Trainers League Season 5. And I drafted it in the Pokemon Battle Federation Season 4. And here we are drafting it in the Pokemon Masters Cup Orange League Season 2. And what this is, what isn't this actually? Sheer Force, Poison Point, probably won't use Rivalry much, a great Sash Stealth Rock lead, Toxic Spike lead, or just Toxic Spike in general. Sheer Force with its coverage is just insane. Gets all the elemental type attacks, I guess. Not all of them, but gets quite a bit. Can be physical, can be special. It's not too slow. Just a great hazard setter. Gets things like Sucker Punch and Pursuit, which is really nice. And then just so much of its coverage can be boosted by Sheer Force. And I really, really like Nidoqueen. I've used it quite a bit recently, and it's so good in the format. Like, You can make it bulky, you can make it offensive, you can make it a mix of bulk and offense. So I thought that was really nice. I think it gets taunt. Let me make sure on that real quick. Pretty sure it gets taunt though. It does get taunt. It does get counter as well. So I could run like a focus sash counter set. So there's so many things Nidoqueen Queen can do. Really, really enjoy it. It can be like a toxic taunt super fang set, which could just really, really wear down an opponent. It can set up reflect. I don't know about light screen. I haven't really looked into all of its coverage because like I haven't really used light screen on this mon. But yeah, other than that, I really like it. It gets roar and dragon tail, so it can be a phaser. It gets disable, which is pretty cool. I think it'll put in the work and gives me a nice electric immunity, so teams can't just volt switch around on me, which is always nice. Has pretty good base stats, so I think Nidoqueen will put in work. It's never let me down before, so really enjoyed my first 3 picks. Now, on my 4th pick here, I could either choose the Mega I wanted or choose the Mon I did choose, which is going to be none other than Arcanine. Had to get me another Gen 1 Mon. Love Arcanine, always have. My boy Diesel here with the Intimidate ability, the Flash Fire ability. Able to be very offensive or very defensive. Can be the Choice Band set, Choice Scarf set, Choice Spec set, Life Orb, Leftovers, Shookaberry, all kinds of different things this thing can do. It can be very bulky with Intimidate and an Assault Vest. It gets pretty decent coverage. Wouldn't say the best, but it gets pretty decent coverage. And Intimidate's such a good ability. Base stats are just really, really good. It's basically one of those. It's basically a Pixie-mon. I mean, its stats aren't 100 across the board, but they're pretty damn close. And it gets some pretty strong attacks like Close Combat and Flare Blitz and Extreme Speed, which is always good. I don't think it gets like Swords Dance or anything, but it does get Howl. So I could get me a little Howl sweep sometime. Maybe a Flame Charge sweep or something. I don't know. Gets pretty good coverage. Reliable recovery with Morning Sun, even though it is weather dependent. But it's still fine. It gets Will-O-Wisp, which is really nice. I think all fire types do, though. Wild Charge for the water types that might want to switch in. That's about it when it comes to coverage. It gets a nice and natural gift. So if I want to run natural gift one game or something, or maybe like a sunny day, Morning Sun, Flamethrower, Solar Beam set or something, this mon can put in the work. And like I said, it's can be very defensive too. It's got really good HP stat and really good defense stat. I wouldn't say really good defense stat, but it's got a good defense stat and Intimidate plus Will-O-Wisp. It's just it's hard to kill. Like if you don't have like super effective stab, and can switch in on like fire type attacks with Flash Fire. Gives me another ground weakness, but between Weavile being being an ice type and being able to take out the ground types pretty effectively, and Thunder's being immune to ground types, and I might draft. I do have a few resist in the back. I think I'll be okay against the ground types with or any team that wants to spam ground type attacks against me. I think Arcanine's a fine pick. I really wished I would have waited another round to grab it because the Mega that I wanted got drafted like 2 turns after I drafted Arcanine or something like that. Actually, I think it was the very next turn. No, it wasn't. I'm trying to see how long like after I drafted that thing was it drafted. It was drafted. Okay, so I drafted Arcanine, then another mon went, and then the Mega I wanted went. So very unfortunate. I could have waited and got Arcanine maybe the following round on the wheel. Like, I'm not on the wheel pick, but I could have picked the mega I wanted, and then let Arcanine come back to me. I don't think it was going to be taken, so I could have definitely waited. Very unfortunate I didn't, but I'm very happy with Arcanine. I think it'll put in the work this season, like I was saying. But in round 5, we are going to draft a mega. It was my backup mega if the first one I wanted got sniped from me, and we do grab it, and we get Mega Medicham. This thing hasn't been released in Sun and Moon yet, so very unfortunate I haven't been able to use it and test it out in the new meta game. But in draft format, this mon it has proven time and again that it's a bitch. You don't want to switch into this thing. There's very few switch ins for this thing, if any at all, and it gets some pretty good coverage. Even though you basically don't need anything other than high jump kick and Zen headbutt because of pure power, making your you have base 100 speed after you mega evolve, and you get the automatic speed boost this gen, which is so good. You got decent bulk and decent special attack. You couple that with 100 base attack and pure power, making your base attack base 200. Think about that for a second. Base 200 high jump kicks. Oh my god, what the fuck's going on? Anyways, yeah, you get high jump kick, you get the thunder punch, the ice punch. I don't think you, no, you should get fire punch. I'm pretty sure I've seen fire punch used before. Get baton pass and bulk up, brick break to get rid of screens and stuff like that. Can even go for the calm mindset and run like focus blast and the energy ball and stuff like that. Even though pure power doesn't affect your special attack or anything like that, it'd still be nice to maybe run some heat 1 week or something like that. Anyways, it gets poison jab and bullet punch for fairy types, so if you had a weakened fairy, you can take it out with the bullet punch. Or if you got one that you know is going to be a switch in, you can pack the poison jab, even though Zen headbutt probably 2-hit KOs them anyway. Or high jump kick into Zen headbutt, because high jump kick, it obliterates things. I'm telling you, it obliterates things. Anyways, ghost types are a problem. I do have Weavile to pursuit trap them, get them out of the game, but Mega Medicham has a hidden tech if you dig deep enough into it and have the foresight to use it. Pun intended. The move is foresight. It allows ghost types to be hit by fighting and normal type attacks. So if if a ghost type wants to switch in, say, I don't know, let me use one as an example, Aegislash or Aegislash, however you want to pronounce it. If it wants to switch in on me, I know it's banned, but I'm just using it as an example. If it wants to switch in and I use foresight, it's now just a steel type. Bye-bye. High jump kick just obliterates. But I was just using that as an example. Obviously, it does get King's Shield and maybe Protect too. But yeah, I was just using it as an example. This thing gets Vacuum Wave, Fake Out, and Bullet Punch, so it gets some pretty good priority. So I have 3 mons with physical and special priority right now, with Thunders having prankster priority, which is really nice. So I think Mega Medicham would put in the work. I used it in the Universal Analyst League Season 1, and it got Mega Evolution Pokemon of the season. So I think that was really nice. But on to my next pick. Speaking of ghost types being great, they are a nice spin blocker, and I do have Hazard Stack so far with Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes. So I decided to grab another ghost type. Well, not another ghost type. I decided to grab a ghost type that I was comfortable with, that is actually another hazard setter itself, in Raikougars. Raikougars' base stats are its attack and speed are piss poor, but its special attack, defense, and special defense are so damn good that it makes this mon really good. It's got a really great ability in Mummy. Its HP is kind of low, but its defense and special defense are so high that it makes it better. So many things you can do with this. You can make it a bulky Will-O-Wisper, a Haze user to stop setup, a Destiny Bond user to die and take your opponent with you. You got the utility knockoff. You got the magic coat, the memento. You can even Trick Room, and Nasty Plot for late game sweeps. Like I mentioned, the Toxic Spikes, Will-O-Wisp, like I already mentioned as well. You got Trick, so if you want to get cheeky and run Trick or something, I could definitely do that. Infestation, Toxic, Skill Swap, all kinds of different things. Again, another Swagger user. I know Arcanine gets Swagger as well. A lot of mines get Swagger, actually. I don't know if it's legal. I'll have to talk about that in a little bit. I'll talk about that maybe in my first game preview or something like that. Like team preview, I'll talk about it, about the rules and stuff. But yeah, this thing's a great, bulky, like, it can be a good wall, and it can be a nice late game sweeper as well as a mid game breaker too. I really like Raikougars. I've been using it in what have I used it in? I've been using it in the International Trainers League Season 5 and the Pokemon Battle Federation Season 4, and I've gotten a couple wins just by using Raikougars in the end game or mid game breaker, and I think I got a sweep with it. No, I didn't get a sweep with it in the PBF, but I definitely did get like a little. It won me a game. I'll say that. Anyways, I have no like hazard control so far, so we'll hop back into this, and my next pick is going to be Empoleon, which is a nice defog user, a nice steel type. It's not extremely bulky or anything, but it's got enough bulk to be used as like it can take a hit, basically. Take a couple hits. And if you run the right berry on it, or you got a little speed investment, you can speed creep things. It's got really good Spit F and special attack and decent defense. Okay HP stat. It's got priority Aqua Jet. It's got the ability to run agility and go offensive. Defog was mainly the reason I drafted it. It does have the utility knockoff. Pretty good coverage with Hydro Pump and Ice Beam. Signal Beam, Stealth Rock. It's another Stealth Rock user, which I was in dire need of, so that Nidoqueen wasn't my only Stealth Rocker. Just a really good mon overall. I think it'll put in the work this season. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's one of those mons that has like a lot of unseen potential because people can't really bring out its best potential. I did name it Rain, and that is a pun on the word like precipitation rain and like reigning supreme because it is like an emperor penguin. So pretty cool nickname there. So that's going to be that. My boy Rain. Torrent and can run Defiant. So like if I can predict like a defog, bring in my Empoleon, say something like a Mandibuzz defog, so I can bring in my Empoleon, get an attack raise of attack is raised by 2. So imagine if I get an attack raise and then Swords Dance up on a more passive Mandibuzz, and then I'm like a +4 Empoleon, and then throw up like Aqua Jets. Like Waterfall to take out the Mandibuzz, and then Aqua Jet to clean the game at +4. Pretty nice thinking there, I guess. I guess I did just reveal one of the strats, so I'm actually going to move on to my next pick. I needed a grass type and I needed a fairy type, so I put them in one. It's not necessarily Tapu Bulu, but it is Whimsicott, and it's another prankster user. So I have 2 prankster users for like speed control with T-Wave, Taunt, Encore, and I do get the ability Infiltrator, which can bypass subs, reflects, light screens, and safeguard and miss, stuff like that. Chlorophyll, which is like I said, if I wanted to run Sunny Day Arcanine or Sunny Day Whimsicott, I do have Arcanine and Whimsicott to take and abuse that. Whimsicott's actually pretty strong if you make it like modest specs. It becomes pretty strong, especially if its checks are weakened, like other grass types and steel types are gone. It's got really good speed. It can be like another pivot with U-turn, offensive pivot, not like something you switch into. It gets a utility knockoff, Leech Seed, Prankster, Memento, all kinds of good stuff. Really good coverage, psychic coverage, ghost coverage. It gets stun spore, and does it get I don't think it gets sleep powder, but stun spore is just basically the same, except you're paralyzing it instead of putting it to sleep. Prankster tailwind, like I could be sacking this thing off and throw off a prankster tailwind for Mega Metacham to just be base 200 attack and base 200 speed. So fucking GG, right? A lot of different things. I can be like a sash endeavor set, so I could like have my sash broken, be at 1 HP, throw off the endeavor, and then I'm also going to bring it's prankster, so my opponent would have 1 HP after that, and then like Mega Cham can come in and click fake out and knock out a threat. Another Trick Room user. Just a really, really good mon in general, in my opinion. I've seen it used well by good players, so that's all that really matters. As long as good players can use it well, then it's a good mon. Next up is going to be, you saw the nickname already, Savage, so you done know I got my boy Ditto again. It says Limber on screen, but, good and fucking well, I'm never going to run Limber. I do have Imposter. So basically, you know what Ditto does. Ditto copies. It can be so many things. It can be a scout. Scout sets out. It can copy your opponent's hazard control and hazard setters and be its own hazard control and hazard setters. It can steal setup and reverse sweep opponents. There's not much really to say about Ditto, so I'm actually going to move on to my 10th pick. I haven't had a Gen 7 pick yet, so I decided to go into the depths of Gen 7 and draft Drampa here, my boy Dramvad. Another really cool mon, normal type and dragon type. So now I got me a ghost immunity and like the elemental resist besides ice, obviously. Resist fire, grass, and water, which is pretty cool. Berserk and sap sipper, pretty cool. Cloud 9's pretty cool too, but I doubt I'll use that. Berserk, if you didn't know, your special attack is raised by 1 when your HP is at half or less. So that's really cool. Becomes if you saw its base special attack, it's 135, which is really pretty high. Decent defense and HP, and pretty good SPDF. Piss poor speed though, but can take advantage of Trick Room like I've been talking about. Choice specs, Draco Meteors with Berserk. It's just crazy. It's another phaser as well, and has the ability to set up Calm Minds. Gets glare and pretty good coverage with extra sensory, energy ball, fire blast, not fire thrower, flame thrower, focus blast, grass knot. It gets hyper voice, which is really cool. Hurricane. It gets light screen, which is really cool. It could be a rest calm mindset. It gets roar and dragon tail, which is pretty cool. It gets roost. I think I've never used this mon. I saw it used once, maybe twice. I know I definitely saw it in one of Joey's videos. It gets workup as well. I think I saw it in one of the Envy's videos too. It's another natural gift user, Flinger. It gets fly, which is pretty crazy. I thought about making this my Z move user, but ultimately decided against it. Anyways, that's going to be it for Dramvad there. And next up is going to be my last pick of the draft. So a little bit more to take a little bit of pressure off of Empoleon and Nidoqueen as my hazard stackers and my Stealth Rock users. And I guess a little bit off of Kofag. I decided to grab my boy Shuckle. Because every day I'm shuckling. No, it's just a bitch of a mon. So like 230 base defense, 230 base SPDF, 5 base speed and 10 base attack and special attack. It's fucking crazy. Max HP, it's still piss poor, but its defensive stats make up for that. It gets fucking what's it called? Sticky web. So now I have another way of speed control outside of my prankster T-Wave users. Encore and Infestation and Toxic, you can really wear down some mons. You got your nice Shell Smash. Pretty good coverage, but like no like stats to back it up. Stealth Rock and Sticky Web are really nice. That's basically it. I just grabbed it for some extra read off. I grabbed it for some extra hazard control. Why was that so hard to spit out? I don't fucking know. But yeah, hazard control, and that's basically it because it can't really do much else. I mean, it gets utility knockoff and like final gambit, but its HP stats so fucking low that it don't really matter about a final gambit. Like, who's gonna care about losing like 5%? Nah, it'll do more than that, but still, it's still really low. I doubt I'll ever do like a Shell Smash shenanigans or anything like that, but you never know. I guess basically just a hazard setter, and that's gonna be my draft. So, and like I said, Thunderous Incarnate is my Z move user. Not limited to any Z moves besides Omni boosting Z moves. So I can use like Z Rain Dance and get the boost on my speed. I can run Supersonic Sky Strike, Gigavolt Havoc. Boys, I can't fucking talk right now. I'm gonna have to cut this off early. Damn. And like I said, Thunders just gets such good coverage that that Z moves really benefit this mon, like fighting dark, electric, and flying, grass, and poison. So like just so much stuff. Ghost even because of Astonish. I guess that's about it though. Still, if you wanted to go that route. Even Rock. But yeah, I guess that's just about it for my draft. Let me know your thoughts on my draft down below in the comment section. Let me know what's your favorite mon. Should I have more Gen 7 or am I cool with just Drampa? Do I have should I have gotten more hazard control other than Empoleon, considering that I do have 3 mons extremely weak to rock, or like I don't have that much hazard removal, but I have 1, 2, 3 really fast taunters. I have a couple other taunters as well, and then like if you want to hazard stack me, I will hazard stack you because I have the ability to do that. But yeah, really excited to use Weavile and Mega Medicham together. Like, just the combination of those two are just so incredible. But yeah, that's just about it. So I'm gonna cut it off here. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.